Hello everybody, welcome back. If you're new to the group, every week Molly and I present a word that's designed to be a guide for meditation, journaling, and contemplation. This week's word is agenda. And I really like this word because for me, this isn't necessarily about like a written agenda at a meeting or something like that, but really the agenda behind what we do. So I like to think about it from a place of what is the agenda behind the message that I'm receiving from the outside world. Now, I'll take it to my own personal level as well. What is my agenda? What am I trying to accomplish when I do certain things? And try to really focus it inward. But I think in this world where we're getting a lot of our information from people that we're not standing in front of, people that we don't meet personally, it really is important to remember what their agenda is. So if someone is communicating something to you and it sounds really good, or you're really interested in it, or maybe you're offended by it, you have to remember that their behaviors, so their actions and what they do, following what they say, after what they say, is going to be a way better indicator of their agenda, a way better indicator of their motivation. So it doesn't matter if you're thinking about or looking at or listening to governments, medical practitioners, people on YouTube, friends, family, anyone that you're having conversations with, anyone that you're listening to has an agenda. They're doing something for a purpose. They have a reasoning and a purpose behind why they're going out into the world and presenting information. So when I look at what I'm doing, the purpose, the agenda behind what Molly and I are doing is to help people really look inward and really look at what these words mean to them, look at what the impact these words have on our lives, to contemplate these words on a deeper level, to look at the motivation behind each one of the personality types in the IMR system. So there's 9 personality types in the IMR system. Each one of those personalities has a different motivation, a different communication style, a different way of viewing the world, a different focus of attention. And through looking at each one of those lenses, you can see different things. So if you look at yourself and you say, okay, I might connect with the red personality or the green personality or the chartreuse personality or the fuchsia personality, and you look at each one of those and really remember that you're seeing things through that focus of attention. You're seeing things through those motivations. What drives you? What gets you up every morning? What moves you forward in your day? What holds you back? What things do you do that are auto responses that might cause problems in your life? I had a situation even today with my husband where I took something really personally that I was a little bit, I was having some internal dialogue for myself of maybe some insecurities about an event that's coming up soon. And I found myself reacting really, responding really kind of aggressively and defensively. And when he said, hey, I was just joking around, what's going on there? I had to look at myself oh yeah, I don't like to be embarrassed or think about being embarrassed when it comes to not being good at something or not being practiced in something. So I have to think about that when I'm behaving. As a green, I don't like the feeling of being embarrassed or not being good at something. So I have to remember that when I'm reactive like that there's something behind that. There's something about my greenness that creates that reaction, that defensiveness. And try to step back from that and say, hey, sorry, babe, I know you were just trying to joke. I just took it personally. I didn't realize what was going on until you brought it up. And now I know that that's what was going on. So maybe next time I react to that, something that you're joking about, know that there's probably an insecurity in there somewhere. There's something in there that I'm already kind of thinking about. And be patient. So I think the important thing is to be patient with people in our lives, but also to remember that messages that you're receiving, back to the point of agenda, messages that you're receiving from people out in the world, they have agendas, and those agendas are not always seen. Those agendas are sometimes behind the scenes. So even when you're having someone who's transparent, like Molly was talking about, full transparency. That always doesn't mean you understand their motivations. It's better to be fully transparent. It's better to be open about what your agenda is, but it doesn't always mean that you're going to understand someone's perspective either. So I think agenda is a really good word when it comes to looking at the world as we see it today. We don't have a lot of social peer groups that we're meeting with regularly in our lives personally that we can discuss the minute differences between the way we perceive things. We don't have a lot of events where we're going and actually meeting the people that we're seeing online. So it's a really interesting time to really take some extra time to discern what the agenda is behind the message that you're receiving. What is the intention of that person who's communicating what they're communicating to you? And do their actions match what they're saying? So I think that is a huge, huge deal. It's definitely something that was on my mind all week as I was contemplating it. And I really like the discussion of the word agenda. I think it's very important. So I would love to hear your comments and thoughts on it. And I'm so thankful that you showed up today. See you next week.